You know what I also find hilarious? People who say that they can't afford shit and then they're committed to not being able to afford shit. There's nothing in this life that is expensive. That is your perception of the condition of you not being able to afford it. Simply, it's not expensive. You simply can't afford it. And the worst people in this world are the individuals who don't even rectify that and choose to stay committed to not being able to afford the things that they truly want in this life. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution, self-mastery, only success. There's so many people who are committed to blaming the world for their ineptitude and remaining inept and remaining incompetent and remaining poor that it will blow your mind to even hear this shit and not walk away questioning yourself. Consider the vibrations raised. In a world full of people who say things are expensive, when in all actuality, they simply can't afford it, and then you recognize people are committed to not being able to afford the things that would actually make their lives better, then it's just a world full of people who are committed to not being and doing and having more, or maybe even committed to not even questioning themselves. The real courage is in the ability to disagree with yourself. Do you have the courage to have the capacity to disagree with yourself, with everything you think, with everything you believe? Or do you need to be right and everyone else must be wrong? See, I don't need to be right. I like to win. I don't need to be right. I like to win. So I'm okay with being wrong, and I'm okay with the outside world being right if I'm presented sensible, logical, objective information. It's as simple as that. Whatever you want, your world is yours. So as I look around and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, so these individuals are like poor, they fucked up, they don't know nothing, they don't even know that they don't know nothing, they walk around complaining, and when you recognize that complaining is really a cry, and once you recognize that complaining is incompetence expressed, because all you're doing is talking about how futile you are, and blah, 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 right, complaining. All these individuals are poor, fucked up in life, complaining and explaining their own incompetence. And instead of figuring out a way and purchasing or investing in a way to improve their existence, they'd rather sit there and be like, oh yeah, I just can't afford it. So you're committed to being poor. See, the thing about my people, it don't even matter about the simple edification of oneself or the true valuable informatics of a life. It's really about this. It's about understanding if you're an individual who wants things in this life, but is willing to settle to live without it simply because you're unwilling to offer and be and become more, then that's exactly what the fuck you are. Whatever why your world is yours. My people, we're not committed to being unable to afford the things we want, tangible or intangible. Nothing in this life for free, and there is nothing for nothing. So you must offer something in exchange for the thing that you want. And the universe is a very fair and square dealer. It doesn't deal in scam, doesn't deal in this and favorings. It's extremely impersonal. The universe, karma, the currency of the universe takes everything personal, but is very impersonal. And in understanding that, you recognize that the universe is extremely fair. What you must do is pay your dues in full for whatever that is. Now, if that's a particular car, then that means you need to go out there and earn the money necessary to pay for the car or the house or the whatever. It doesn't matter what the material thing on the opposite end of exchanging money is, but when it comes to money, then you need to go out there and exchange what money is in the distillational form. So whatever why your world is yours, or anything in this life, pay attention to this. My people, we're not committed to being unable to afford the things we want in our lives, because we're not committed to sitting there and being lazy or not being and becoming more, or not increasing our output, and not simply increasing our output because plenty of people do shit. Very few people get shit done, let alone at a high level and a highly appreciable level. We're not sitting there saying, well, we're not sitting there saying that, we're not sitting there saying that, what's going on, man? we're not sitting there allowing ourselves to simply content ourselves with not being and becoming, not doing, not offering, not producing more. Whatever it is, we'll pay the cost to be the boss. We'll pay the cost to floss. You feel me? So whatever you why your world is yours. I just find that very particularly intriguing, that individuals will want things in this life, better conditions in this life, but then when it's time to pay what's due, they'll say they can't afford it, and then they'll be committed to not being able to afford it simply because they're committed to not doing, being, offering, outputting, and producing more at a greater degree than ever before. Check them off. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution, self-mastery, only success. I can't make this shit up. All I could do is clarify life to the point where I don't accept bullshit in my life and we move forward faster than ever before. Because the reason that you're not moving fast is because you have unreconciled ideations in your mind. You're still confused. If you look at the word confused, you have con, which is a prefix meaning with, as in con pollo, con anything, right? Latin prefixes. So you have con, you have with, and you have fused, right? So you have fuses that are fucking up inside of your own system. You need to sort your fuses out and sort out your circuit board so that you can conduct yourself electrically speaking, thought speaking, emotionally speaking, energetically speaking, at a more efficient level. Consider vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution, self-mastery, success. Hey, are you comprehending what we're communicating? Not just hearing what we're saying.